I am not typically someone who ever comments on stuff like this, but honestly, it just makes me really sad, and I've been thinking about it since I read about it this morning. So for those of you who haven't heard, a young Taylor fan named Anna, passed away while, basically at the Eras Tour last night. And the reason, I don't know if it was heat stroke or heat exhaustion, I'm not quite sure which one, but it was a result of one of the two. It was 114 degrees in Rio last night. And there were just a lot of things about the situation that were handled poorly. People were not given water. People were not being allowed, people that were in the pit were not being allowed to leave so they could go get water. The water that was being sold were the teeny tiny bottles, like the ones you give to kids, like 6-8 ounce bottles of water, were being sold for $10. I'm sorry, but when it is that hot, that is not the time to fucking price gouge people. You should be just passing out cups of water for free. I guess Taylor herself was passing out water to fans, which I love that she was doing that. But it's just gross that this is how this stadium was handling this. Like, we're gonna price gouge them on teeny tiny bottles of water when it is dangerously hot. This stadium also has a ventilation system, and the vents were closed because they didn't want anyone getting a glimpse of the concert. Why do we value somebody possibly getting a little glimpse of a concert over the safety of people? Like, that is just, this whole thing is just so fucked up that this was happening. And they are making some changes, and I don't remember exactly what the changes are, but like, let's put it this way, it's probably not enough. I think it said like more medical and police personnel, people like handing out water and stuff, but this girl died. That's like heartbreaking. You're going, like, could you imagine going to any concert, going to see an artist you love, and then dying that way? Like, that is just heartbreaking to me. Like, I'm about to cry. I'm about to cry. You know, and the thing I think about is, like, I can't imagine it being that hot. Like, you know, I went to the Eras Tour back in June. I live in Minnesota. I think it was like in the 80s that day. And while we were inside, it was hot. When you are like so close to so many people, it's gonna get hot. I remember like the fire effects during Bad Blood. You could feel the heat from them, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's hot enough in here. We don't need that. Like, I remember how hot it was. And it was significantly cooler when I went than when these people went, like 114 degrees, and then you're like right next to all these people, like, and you know, she was the only fan that, fortunately, was the only fan that passed away, but there were several people that passed out. And then, like, the other issue is these people were not getting medical attention. They weren't getting medical attention. It's just so fucked. Like, we value so many, I feel like at times we value so many things over the health and safety of other people. And that should have been the priority, and it wasn't. And it's heartbreaking. I'm so sad. I mean, like, Google this story if you want to know more. Like, I don't have all the facts, I don't have all the details, it's just what I read. But I just wanted to talk about it because it's sad and truly heartbreaking. And my heart is just broken for her and her family and friends. Like, you're going out on a Friday night to do something fun, and then that happens. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. Um, I guess I don't really have anything else to say about it. I'm not one to typically comment on stuff like this, but it just bothers me, like, how fucked it is. How fucked it is. Like, there is no reason that that girl should have died. It's pure greed. You know, selling tiny bottles of water for $10 when it's that hot. You should be passing out water for free when it's that hot, so this doesn't happen. Like, it's heartbreaking. It really is. The greed and the negligence, it's disgusting. It really is.